So I think our generation is very lucky, and for the sake of this talk, I'm going to put myself in the generation that you guys all represent, so we're going to be our generation. We have such an advantage with the technology that's being kind of developed and fast-tracked. And we have the advantage because we're mature enough to use it and do some really, really awesome things with it. So many of you probably have heard someone at least say to you this statement: your generation is going to change the world. And you know, you're like, well, no pressure. How am I supposed to change the world? And how is our generation going to do it? But I think with the right tools and the self-investment that everyone should be making, you create kind of a community that allows you to stand out and allows you to possibly get this into reality. So I'm very excited about the theme of today's talk. Obviously, it's expanding your horizons, and it really, really got me thinking about how I can possibly inspire those in the crowd. And I really do believe that this kind of opportunity that I have is very powerful, because I get to talk to the youth of our community that is essentially going to shape the world and hopefully do something with the statement. So in life, we have options, and we're very lucky to live in a we are very lucky to live in a country that has that provides us a lot of options. And if you were to wake up tomorrow and say, turn your passion into a career or a business, you have the grants and the mentors and the resources to get it done. And that's very, very powerful. And I think that speaks volume to the country that we kind of live in. So I wanted to tell you a little story about my options and the options that I was actually given when I was in I was a senior in high school. And essentially my options were University A or University B. Very taunting options, but there's a life lesson that kind of comes out of these options. So I applied to 2 universities, and I was very comfortable with University A because my friends were going there and I had a sense of comfort with University A. But it turns out University A didn't want me. They gave me another option, which wasn't my main choice, and University B actually gave me my choice and a scholarship. And University B was a little bit unknown to me. I didn't know a lot about it. I didn't visit kind of the campus. I wasn't too familiar with University B. So I was kind of asking myself one question, and the question was why? Why did this happen to me? Why did I not get into this university that all my friends were going to? Was I a failure? Did I fail at something? And it got me questioning kind of what I was doing and why this whole entire thing happened. So I became a little bit very closed-minded just because of a couple of words on a piece of paper that were mailed to me. And I became kind of doubtful in myself instead of looking at it as an opportunity to grow. And in the first year, I had a little bit of trouble. So I ended up going to University B. I had troubles in my first year. But as I kind of invested myself into the whole environment, I was able to kind of grow a community and stand out. So when you hear the word investment, a lot of the times you probably think of a financial definition of it. So an investment in your mortgage, your house, your car. But the definition that I really want you to focus on today is the following. So an act of devoting time, effort, and energy to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. So actually putting your time and energy into a project that you believe in or into something that you believe in and having it result in something better for you. So I really invested myself into my university that I went to with small acts such as staying on campus, going and volunteering at events, going into the whole student environment, and kind of having those opportunities. I worked for the opportunities that I got with extracurricular activities. And I very quickly found out that self-investing in yourself actually grows a community around you. So people notice that you're trying and you're passionate and you're hardworking, and they actually get attracted to that kind of good vibe. And so the self-investment that I made in my second year of university kind of created that community of the friends that I have now that I'm graduated. Who here has heard of Snapchat? There we go. Who here uses Snapchat? So if we look at Snapchat, it is literally a platform that you send less than 10-second pictures or videos to someone, and then they get deleted. And everyone's so attracted by the filters and the dog faces, and everyone's so obsessed with this whole entire platform. And why? Why is Snapchat so much better than every single other app and platform on your phone? Snapchat does this. They self-invest, not only in their software and their updates and everything that they do, but they look at how the people are using Snapchat. So a couple of years ago, Snapchat was, again, very just photo-based. You couldn't even take a video. It was kind of, you can call it old school. Fast track 5 years, they have things like geofilters. They grow communities by these geofilters because they have them all over the world. And they've slowly invested themselves in the whole entire community to become so relevant in our lives. And I know that everyone has been Snapchatting today, and you just can't get over this whole entire platform. It is absolutely amazing. So the simple little steps that Snapchat makes in investing in themselves and the community has allowed them to expand into basically every single country in the world and grow their user base exponentially. And so this investment, again, translates into that community that I was talking about. And then that community allows them to be the biggest and best player out there right now. So it allows them to really, really stand out. So self-investing and growing a community is something that we should be practicing. And it's something that I think I have adapted in my everyday life as well. Standing out and being remembered is also something that I think everyone should be striving for, because at the end of the day, we all leave, and of course we leave behind children or grandchildren, but what's the legacy that you're going to be left? What's the legacy that you're going to be leaving once you're gone? And that's where the whole notion of just standing out from the crowd essentially comes into play. So with your community, you can make cool things happen, and then that's going to translate in you obviously standing out. And I think, again, I want to congratulate everyone in the room for being here, because this is kind of the first step in your development and self-investment into growing that community and then standing out from the rest of your peers. So we remember things that we really want to remember. You're going to go home a month, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now. You're going to remember this conference, and you're going to specifically remember bits and pieces. You're not going to remember the whole entire day. It's just not how our brain works. And you're going to remember the things that really caught your attention. So whether it was a great piece of advice, whether it was something super, super inspirational, or maybe just a funny joke. So this translates back into standing out. And when you want to be remembered, I think, again, the steps of self-investing, growing that community is going to allow you to stand out and be noticed more amongst your peers and essentially the 7 billion people in this whole entire world. So we're talking about self-investing and growing a community and standing out, but what happens when you fail? And trust me, After high school, I was like, I'm an awesome student, I've never failed, and then university gave me a nice slap in the face. And I failed my first exam. And honestly, it was something that you had to swallow. But the thing that I learned from the whole entire experience was, you're not gonna die, you're gonna be okay. It's not going to kill you that you failed, whether it be a job interview, a course, a grant, anything that you strive for and you don't get or you might fail, it's not going to kill you. You just have to get yourself back up and keep going. And I think realizing what you kind of did and what happened in the whole entire process is also going to help you kind of learn from it. And I think the other biggest thing from failure too is responding to the failure rather than reacting. So you can pity yourself and be very angry and upset like I was when I didn't get my option A for university, rather than responding to the whole entire situation, which I later on did. So instead of reacting to it, just respond right away to really kind of let that failure go through you. So after I kind of finished my whole entire university experience, I look back at my 18-year-old self who was in front of a decision to choose the next 4 years of my life and investing in the university that I wanted to go to. And I look back and I can honestly answer the question that I proposed, of the question why. I genuinely think that I was chosen not to get that offer from University A and go down the route of University B. But I genuinely do believe too, if I didn't invest in myself and grow a community in University B and didn't really take the whole entire thing as an opportunity very positively, I wouldn't have had an experience and I wouldn't have ended up standing out after completing 4 years there. So I want everyone to kind of make me a promise that you're never going to stop self-developing. The education doesn't stop and end at the institution that you go to. There are so many resources at literally our fingertips, on your mobile device, on your laptops, that keep you educated every single day. Look at the biggest influencers. They go back and do masters and PhDs and even get certified on trends that are coming up, such as digital marketing. So promise me that you're never going to stop self-investing in yourself, and you're never going to stop working for your community and building that community around you to stand out afterwards. So the next time someone tells you, hey, your generation is going to change the whole entire world, confidently say to them that, you know what, together as a community, maybe we can. Thanks so much.